people. First of all, there's the other ambassadors. You guys are amazing. Whether I've known you for like 5 years or I just met you like at the mic check, you're also such powerful examples of how strong survivors can be. Another group of people I want to shout out are the parents and families. Again, you guys are all so strong and so amazing. It surpasses words. And then of course there are the award winners. Thank you so much for all you've done for Coast to Coast and Childhood Cancer and for Kids with Cancer. The volunteers, again, thank you. And for all of you here tonight, it's so important to me and to so many people that you're here supporting kids with cancer so that they can survive like I did. So this is the actual speech. A few things about me. I'm 13 years old. I have a blue belt in Hapkido and Karate. I'm a grade 9 honors student. I want to be a pediatric oncologist, and I'm a cancer survivor. I owe my life to SickKids. When I was 3 years old, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I endured 841 days of chemotherapy and many years of recovery. Without the life-saving research and treatment that I received, I wouldn't exist today, let alone be standing here. These are my bravery beads. I got one bead for every procedure I endured. I have over 650 beads, and I'm still counting since I still go to the leukemia follow-up clinic to make sure that I stay healthy. As painful and lonely as my cancer journey was, I also have many good memories from my time at SickKids. From the playrooms to yelling across the atrium to clowns, true story, to even my hospital room. I'm not exactly sure that adults have the same experience in their hospitals, nor do they have the luxury of seeing things through the innocent perspective of a small child. But every day, no matter how painful things got, or how sick I felt, I got high fives, hugs, and even goofed around with my medical team. I have to level with you. As happy as I am to be here tonight at the first annual Gold Ribbon Gala, this past year has been really, really hard for me because I've lost 6 of my friends to cancer. They were the 1 in 5. They died despite all their strength, courage, resilience, determination, and wit. And they were and always will be a big part of my life because they are the reason I advocate for childhood cancer. Jaden. She was my best friend, and she fought cancer for 10 years before she lost her battle. She was the most radiated person, not child, patient, or person in Canada. She had 123 rounds of radiation. She was the bravest, smartest, and most fun person to ever be around, and she could light up a room without even trying, and you would know by the mood if she was there or not. She went to lots of coast-to-coast events over the years, like Bikes for Tykes, with a positive, sparkling energy, and everyone loved being around her. My friend Emma She was a competitive dancer, gymnast, and could fly on a trampoline like you've never seen anyone do before. She never let cancer or her amputation get in the way of who she wanted to be and what she wanted to do. Avery, she's the biggest Raptors fan ever, and the team really adopted her as their favorite fan. In the NBA Finals, every time I saw the ball bounce on that rim before going in, I always pictured her with those little angel wings tipping it in. Marlo, she was an energetic young SickKids ambassador who's known for her role in the SickKids Versus campaign, where she laid the first brick to build a new SickKids. Owen was always smiling, and his joy for life was contagious. He loved camp and Camp Ooch, and I hung out with him many times there. Aiden, he had a warrior's spirit and a great sense of humor to go with us, strength and courage. These were some of the friends that I loved and who were taken before their time by cancer, along with many other young cancer kids, since it's the #1 cause of death by disease of Canadian kids, and it's not rare. In fact, in Canada, there's a new diagnosis about every 6 hours. And I've been asked this question many times. You survived, why don't you just be happy and walk away? And my answer to this is, my friends haven't been able to walk away. Like my friends Jake and Catherine, who've been fighting for their lives hard for more than 10 years. I can't just walk away from the people who I love, who I admire, and who I support, and who support me back. They need my friendship in their hard times, and I need their friendship in my hard times. They might seem to just be kids, but they're some of the strongest, the bravest, the coolest, the most fun, the most intelligent kids I've ever met. They carried me during my 841 days of chemotherapy and recovery. And now I stand with them and I fight for them. When I was 11, I was selected by SickKids and the Children's Miracle Network to be the champion child presented by Walmart. During that year, I went to Ottawa and I decided that I wanted to talk to our nation's leaders about my friends and what the federal government could do to ensure that more Canadian kids would survive cancer. I was able to speak to the Prime Minister, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Science, and many MPs. They listened to me and encouraged me. In fact, the Prime Minister made a point of finding me at the end of the photo op to tell me, don't stop doing what you're doing. And you know what? I didn't stop. I founded my own advocacy group called Helena's Hope, and I spent the last 2 years being the voice for cancer kids and families. I make it a point to speak from the heart to anyone who will listen, like everyone here tonight. And when I have the opportunity, to anyone who has influence or power in this country, then. Coast to Coast funded a trip to Ottawa where I presented a proposal to the Minister of Health that had the support of 31 cancer organizations, including Coast to Coast, who was one of the first organizations on board. The plan also had the support of 30 leading Canadian oncologists who helped me understand that although this is the golden age of cancer research, the health system has many barriers and in fact excludes kids in many ways. And I actually have some really recent good news to share. The Parliamentary Secretary of Health called me this summer to tell me that because of my advocacy work, Health Canada has opened a new Office of Pediatrics, and already in July, 2 significant changes occurred. The first is that the Minister of Health announced that there's a new streamlined approach for approving treatments for children in Canada. And the second is that for the first time ever, a treatment was approved for cancer kids and adults the same day by Health Canada. And it might seem like a small milestone, but to help you understand the magnitude of these changes, there have only been 6 drugs approved by Health Canada in the last 35 years for cancer kids. And even when the drugs were approved, it's usually been years and years and years after being first developed for adults. All the drugs I took for 841 days were not approved by Health Canada. And Emma, who I talked to before, she had the same cancer as Terry Fox. She relapsed, just like Terry Fox. She had the exact same treatments. It came back in her lungs and she passed away because of it. To help, and I'm not done yet either. I'm still asking for a national childhood cancer strategy, and I'm still working hard to open up pathways for kids to get fast, fair, and safe access to trials and treatments, no matter where they live in Canada or how much money they have. These trials and treatments are for my friends that have no more options left. There are many kids and their families staring at hospital room ceilings, praying for a chance at a life-saving pathway. But tonight I also want to talk about where most of those pathways will take them, right to SickKids. We're entering the golden age of cancer research, and SickKids is determined to be at the leading edge of the trials and treatments that will become more specialized and more personalized for each and every child. Things like precision medicine, immunotherapy, and bone marrow transplants that are so complex that it's not feasible to have in every hospital. SickKids treats approximately 1/4 of all childhood cancer patients across Canada, and the size and complexity of the patient population at SickKids is being matched by new and more specialized medical care. The truth is that SickKids is the place where Canadian kids with the toughest cases of cancer and other illnesses most often come for the latest trials and the newest treatments. For example, CAR T-cell therapy, a treatment that gives kids that would otherwise be terminal over a 90% chance of being in remission. Let that sink in for a bit. SickKids was the first hospital that got the first Canadian child to the States to get that treatment, and was the first to offer it in Canada. And that's just the start. And this is where all of you come in. Now, we need your help to build a new SickKids that can do the types of trials and treatments that are coming from new research breakthroughs. And these breakthroughs are only life-saving if there's a place like SickKids that's ready and able to deliver 21st century medicine. You are powerful people, and you know lots of powerful people. I'm just 13 years old, and I need your help to use your influence to raise awareness, to raise funds, and to persuade others to do the same. And through your coast-to-coast rides and at this gala tonight, you chose to spend it raising money for cancer kids and sick kids. Thank you. And because of your help, you will know that when the cancer kids are on their path to beating their cancer like I did, and knowing their pathways will most likely end up with them being admitted to SickKids, that you were an important part in giving them the best chance at survival. So thank you for being here tonight and giving like lives depend on it, because they do, and they're my friends, and I can't stand to see more of them die. Thank you.